thing with Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan and other countries, and Cuba, when you see them around these big established powerhouses of EUBC boxing, they've got this kind of, it is an aura. Aura is the right word. They just kind of exude confidence. And here comes Anastasia Cool. I think we may have lost the sound system.
Yeah, I think the sound system might be gone, but you can see what I mean about she's quite a long fighter. And she can use that range to her benefit for sure as she steps into the ring. Coming out of the red corner, the Russian, a Junior Women's Nations Cup winner already this year in the 52 kilo category, a Russian Women's Junior National Champion as well this year, looking to add to her gold tally as we see the Spaniard Noelia Gutierrez coming into the ring in the blue corner. He has tasted success as well in Lisbon in the junior tournament earlier this year. Success in Spain too. Former schoolgirls national champion in her country. And it will be interesting to see if we have almost a repeat of the Russian semi-final. Just has a bit more height as the fighter coming out of the red corner against Gutierrez, who really likes to get even lower than she already is and be an impactful puncher from close range, as we saw yesterday, or should I say on Friday. And the last checks, getting the headgear on. Does feel a bit peculiar suddenly not having the sound system in here, doesn't it?
It really does, the big screen as well. There's obviously some kind of problem with the power. I'm sure they're working hard behind the scenes to get that resolved. But yes, different for the fighters.
And I wonder if this will feel a bit more normal for them as well as what they were used to throughout this tournament so far, and if it will almost take some of that intensity and adrenaline out of them slightly, and they'll be a bit more calm and composed coming into the ring. Possible.
They're so experienced, these fighters. They've kind of seen everything really, that I find very little phases them. But as you say, this kind of treatment with the ring walks and the lights and everything like that, and this is going out on Georgian TV as well as on the EUBC and EUBC stream, which, if you're listening to us, that's what you're watching. They tend to take things in their stride. You're waiting backstage, you're gloved up, you're ready to go, you're just focused in on one thing and one thing only. Can Gutierrez here now prevent Russia claiming another gold medal? That's the question.
I see straight away that left arm poised straight out from the Russian, just trying to ensure that the distance is kept and start the control of the fight. As the Spaniard looks to get in close and just comes around with a nice left. And the right as well, catches on the chin too, which will please the blue corner. Very fast with that left jab, the Russian. Throwing 2 or 3 at a time before them following up with a right, but the Spaniard is getting in close and causing a few more problems as the fighter in red just has to step away for a moment, pause and reset slightly.
It's an interesting start. They're both throwing that 1-2, aren't they? They're right on the borderline of range sometimes, not quite close enough. She steps in with a nice right hand there, Gutierrez. They seem quite well matched. It's just a question at the minute of who really gets off first, because they're both essentially trying to do the same thing.
It's also when you start with this sort of energy in the first round and then try and maintain it into the second, the third round can be very suddenly draining and slow from these fighters. It's a nice little left coming in from Gutierrez there just before pulling away. I feel at the moment for the Spanish fighter it's all about timing her approach forward and just avoiding the quick left jabs that are swiftly followed by a right sometimes from the Russian, and they're quite effective at the moment in the last few seconds of this bout with about 20 seconds to go in round 1.
She's just beginning to dominate, Anastasia Cool, in that second minute of the round. She's found her range. She has got slightly superior reach, and she's just found her distance, and she's eating that jab a bit, Gutierrez. As you said, she's got to find a way inside that. She's got to try and move her head. But Cool, with a slight wry grin on her face there, really warmed into it as the round went on there.
Well, it was a frantic start from both fighters, and it's
interesting on the scores. Though we've got split scores, so 2 judges going in favour of Cool of Russia, 3 going in favour of Gutierrez. I was in the I'd be in the cool corner on that one. I thought that she brought that round home towards the conclusion of it. It was tight going into the final 30 seconds, you would probably say, but I thought she did enough in the last 30 seconds to win that round.
I just thought maybe in the middle part there were a few times when the Spaniard was able to get down underneath, and that job wasn't quite as effective. And Cool as well was throwing it a lot without connecting, and it was great for keeping her opponent away at times, but there was still a way round it and a way through it in a few moments just in the middle of that opening round. A lot of these bouts, though, that we've seen in the semi-finals and will undoubtedly see throughout today are going to be very close, because to get to this point of this tournament you have to be a very capable fighter indeed as round 2 gets underway. The Russian far more aggressive to start things as Cool starts to work with the couple of quick jabs, and that right is coming round just a bit more frequently, and the Spaniard trying to fight back. Again, that left hand of Cool doing a really good job at just ensuring that it's a little more difficult for Gutierrez to really connect cleanly.
She's made a good start to this round, Anastasia Cool. She's got quick hands. She's getting on the front foot and just letting that 1-2 go, just unloading with it. And Gutierrez hasn't really got room to breathe at the minute. She's trying to punch with her. Good bit of head movement there, just slipped off to the left-hand side and then through a lead left hook.
But then Cool replies, able to duck away from that left that was coming round. And again, I mean, I hate to be too cheesy, but she is looking rather cool at times in the ring and fairly composed as well. It's another good right just a moment ago from the Russian as they came away from each other. Trying with the left uppercut there. In the same sort of moment, catches a nice right as well on the Spaniard. A good combination too with a quick left-right. So Gutierrez still trying to stay on her toes, try and stay mobile, doing her best to avoid the onslaught that comes every so often from her opponent.
She's kept the tempo really high in this round, Anastasia Cool, and the corners get the scores right at the start of the round, as we do when we look to the big screen away to our right-hand side. And you just get the sense that when they saw the scores after that first round, they would have said to her, listen, you didn't get that first round, split scoring, you need to do a bit more. And it's exactly what she's done.
It's a lovely right hand as well that caught sweetly round the side of the head of Gutierrez just before the bell as round 2 comes to an end. And as expected, round 2 goes straight 10s from all the judges to Anastasia Cool, who really, again, took it up a notch from the word go coming out of the corner. It was very aggressive, and it maintained that level of aggression throughout.
It did, and this is a kind of scenario we've seen already this afternoon that you've seen relatively often. So she's 2 points clear with 2 of the judges, but this is still very much in play because the other 3 cards are 19 apiece. So Gutierrez has got an uphill task here because she's got to win all 3 of those cards and turn those into 29-28 in her favour. That'll give her 3 cards, and that'll be enough to win. Anastasia Cool needs to get 1 of those 19-19s in her favour, and this will go her way. So she's still in it here, Gutierrez. There's no doubt that Cool is in the driving seat, but she's just got to pour it all out here, the Spaniard, in the final 2 minutes and see what happens.
She's got to find a way to avoid that contact as well, that once again comes from the outset from Cool. There's the Russian fighter coming out of the red corner with the advantage on the points at the moment to start round 3 of the final of the light bantamweight final here in Tbilisi, Georgia. It's just more of the same with that left hand doing the initial dirty work and then trying to follow up with the right whenever it's possible. Gutierrez is swinging when she's in close, but you're almost not sure if she's able to even see where she's swinging at times because there's always a red glove right in her eye line, right in her face. Another good pop with the jab there in the centre of the ring. The Spanish fighter is just desperate to try and find a way through with a minute to go here in this final.
She's giving it absolutely everything here, Gutierrez. Absolutely everything that she's got. Cool just leads off with the right hand there. Gutierrez just wings a big right hand over the top. The Spaniard there just comes walking forward, walking in really. trying to keep the pressure on Cool. She's definitely lifted it here in this final round. It is a closer round, a closer round than the second, but that's a good bit of work on the inside there from Cool. But Gutierrez fires back.
30 seconds to go. Gutierrez straight in close once again. Once more Cool. Trying to prevent her getting close. The left comes round the side there from Gutierrez. Another one just over the top. Right hand trying to work towards the body when they're in close. Final 10 seconds of the final round. Gutierrez walking as close as she can and continuing to swing right until the final bell.
She's given herself a chance there. She's given herself a chance. It's an outside chance because she's got to win all 3 of those 19-19s. But that was a close round. She did some neat work there, particularly towards the end. About 20 seconds to go, she threw a couple of good combinations, and you could definitely make a case for her winning that round. It's just whether all 3 of those judges give it to her, which you would say is probably not going to happen. But as we were saying at the start of the round, she needed just to dig deep there, bite down any cliche you could think of, and do everything she could, and she did that.
But it is Anastasia Cool who takes it, and that final round going all 10s to the Russian. Once again, a unanimous decision, and despite Gutierrez's attempts at heroics in that final round, it's the Russian that will walk away with the gold medal. As you say, Andy, it was just Gutierrez knew she had to pull something out of the bag, and it was, I'm going to have to take the shots to get in close to be able to then start throwing the punches that she wanted to throw. But Cool throughout that. I still thought she did a really good job, as she did in the semi-final at times, particularly in that first round, of just using the left to keep her opponent at least on guard for a lot of it. And a lot of the times when Gutierrez stepped forward, she did have to take a shot before she was able to get in and start throwing punches herself.
Yeah, it was a good fight. It was a good fight. Cool was the better fighter and deserved winner. I thought the closest round for me